Yeah, hope you're having a nice weekend. And for the Canadians out there that you're getting ready for your Thanksgiving, I started making Thanksgiving plans with my mom earlier today. So we are set. But that's a while. It's kind of far out, right? All right, let's first talk about what Foodie Beauty did today. And there are several React channels that have covered it. I watched it first on Milky Chai's channel, but I know that Frenchie covered it as well. And there, I think Garlic Bread has summarized portions of it. So Chantel appeared intoxicated on something. But it's being debated whether that was an act because she seemed to be very manipulative in this mukbang that she filmed. That was um, seemed to be directed towards Salah. She was saying things that seemed to be subliminal, like I like the white meat and he likes the dark meat. He doesn't like breasts. Um, that could be a reference to his preference for butts. It could be a reference to him potentially actually being homosexual. Who knows? But those were some of the theories that were popping up in the chats. Um, I have no idea. All I can tell you is that she was visibly upset making that video. And her lip was swollen on one side and two sides actually. It was like the upper lip here and the bottom lip here. So people were like, why did that happen, right? Could it be the lip plumper that she uses? I have no idea. I don't know. I've never used one before. I don't know if it can come out misshapen, right? Andrew Swimmer, hi. How you doing? So, she has this bizarre mukbang where because she doesn't own a set of dinner plates, like dinnerware, right? Farewell, hello, ma'am. Hello, farewell. I don't know. That's an interesting choice. Kaizenko Gamer, hi. And Andrea Swimmer. I'm sorry, I said Andrew because my eyesight sucks. I'm just going, okay. Well, I'm just recapping what I saw on these live streams. Berry Avenue Cods, how old are you? I don't think that really matters. And basically, you're just trying to redirect my conversation at this point. So, it looked like she was intoxicated, especially in the beginning part when she was like slurring her words and stuff. But she also looked very upset. Like she was trying to get a message out, but it wasn't like we were her audience, right? And so we're watching her eat off of a plastic sheet. Whoever's doing that, okay, you're gone, dude. Mm-mm. You don't come on my channel and age shame me to the point where YouTube auto flags it. For real? Um, God damn, dude. So, yeah. Where y'all come from, huh? Um, so anywho, she looks like she's out of it. And she's going through her normal stuff. But it seems like a conversation. Hi, Lynn. Welcome from Oregon. Another turkey resident. Okay, Red Phoenix. Um, what's going on with you guys tonight? So anyway, she goes through and is scooping up coleslaw off of a plastic sheet into a spoon because she doesn't own any dinnerware. And eating the chicken while simultaneously feeding it to her cat. She's always complaining that Julia is begging for scraps. But the thing is, your cat will not beg for scraps if you don't feed them human food, right? So when I got my last cat who passed away in March, but I got him back in 2011, I think it was. He was a street cat that was rescued. And for the first couple of weeks, he was trying to raid my trash can. And basically, once I trained him to eat cat food, that's what he ate. He wasn't begging anymore. You know, he wasn't coming up to me while I was eating my dinner and trying to get stuff off my plate. That never happened in the many years that I owned him. So, um, one thing that was really interesting that came up in that video, and I think I heard this correctly, is that towards the end of her mukbang, she said, I need another. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to. Oh, yeah, Fat Sajak's going live. I forgot about that. I gotta turn the sound off. Um, she said, I need another Adderall. Now, I think this is not so much a thing that maybe, but I'm not aware of people within Gen X that really abuse that type of drug, or boomers even, but millennials, yes. And I have been around millennials who unreasonably take it. And if you don't really need it, it can have some dire consequences. Even if you do really need it, it can have some dire consequences because it will make you high performing while it's like at its peak in your bloodstream. But as it's starting to die off, you go through emotional crashes. And I've seen this not only from raising an ADHD child while we were trying to figure out which medication would be the best one for him, um, but also in adult millennials who would take it and have the same thing of I'm getting my shit done, and then all of a sudden just be raging out of their minds. And I even had a mutual friend who said, "Yep, you know, he probably was on Adderall because he said he had an Adderall addiction." Wild. So that might be one of, I mean, it's possible. I don't know what she's taking. I don't know how these medicines will interact with each other either. But if she's acting weird, which what we've seen today is she put out two weird videos. One was a live stream, one was a video. And then she started kind of raging out on her community posts. She's like, I'm gonna, you know, unblock everybody. And I'm gonna tell my mods, you can't block anybody. You just have to, you're more symbolic than anything. You can delete comments. Okay. Well, that didn't last very long. That did not last very long. But the other thing is that she told a story that she hasn't told before that was very similar to a story that has come out from Kalari in the last couple of weeks. So, Kalari has been really challenged on the ownership of this property that was supposedly an animal rescue and facility that was owned by her boyfriend, his grandfather. And she's trying to, say there's public paperwork out there that she's one of the heirs, blah, blah, blah. But then her story changed and said that the heir was like a sister who was going to sell it to them. And they were paying a mortgage to put 6% down on the property, and that it just was too many details. First of all, it was wildly weird, right? I have this arrangement with my partner, boyfriend, husband, whatever he is to you. I don't know. I don't care. But even if you are married, if in America, if you inherit a property, it does not automatically become joint assets. Period. It doesn't. My dad told me that. And he was very careful about how he managed his assets throughout his life. And still is, because he's still living, right? Earning an inheritance does not mean that it goes to your partner as well, which is probably why her name is nowhere on this paperwork. Now, whether she's helping pay for the place, she says that she didn't want her name on it initially because she has no credit. Well, why? Why have you been begging for money for years but haven't been able to restore your credit. I mean, I get it. Everybody can fall on hard times. I have fallen on hard times, and my credit score has fallen down. But I always catch back up. I always, make payment arrangements and fix the situation. So I don't know why you have no credit. Like, you can't even go to a car dealership and buy a car at this point because you have no credit. Interesting. Anyway, Chantel decided to tell a very similar story today, saying that her mom and stepfather have been in an arrangement with the landlord of their home that they've been renting for 30 years, that their monthly payments are basically like mortgage payments, that she will ultimately, like, they will ultimately own the house. And I find that ridiculous too. Because if you have a landlord who has a rental property, um, unless you decide to sell it to somebody who can actually buy it, you're going to just earn the income from renting it out, you know, and keep up the repair on the property and all that. The insurance, the property tax, everything else. So it seems like she picked that story up off Kalari, which is so bizarre. She keeps picking up stories off of other channels and Degrassi and 16 Candles and, just like all this bullshit. It's so bizarre to watch. Um, so it was a weird day of Girl World for sure, you guys. It was also a weird day in politics. Midas Touch put out a video this morning that said that Trump has been documented shatting his pants for 40 years. That there are stories of him going back to 83 of shatting his pants. So, and he's apparently been seeing a specialist for that. The doctor that handles um, a gastro doctor, whatever. So they have a very interesting video out tonight that talks about that, about how do you have this guy sitting with world leaders and shatting himself, which they showed footage of him doing so in meetings with world leaders and meetings with high level opposition leaders from the Democrats and stuff. Now, Olaf also picked up on what I have been saying for a long time. If you look at that video, which I have put in the description of this live stream, that Kalari is not actually doing anything for the Democratic Party or for the Harris campaign. That she's basically just trolling online. And so she pointed out that her Twitter account was just used to get into fights with people, correct the record kind of crap. So that hopefully came as a tip from me, because I've been saying it for weeks, that it's simply impossible. I have enough knowledge of volunteerism and the Democratic Party and how it works that I know that her claims of what she says she's doing for the election is not legit. It's not. How are you guys doing this Saturday night? I can tell you one more story and then I'll probably like log off. I usually fall asleep to stories from like Kyle hates camping, which obviously he doesn't because he's um, what's called a through hiker. These are people who want to do these long trails. For example, the Pacific Crest Trail starts in Mexico and ends in Canada. So that's one of them. The other one, I don't remember all the names of these trails, but there's three main ones. The other one goes from the border through the Rocky Mountains up to Canada. And the last one, I think, starts in Florida and goes through the Appalachian Mountains up to Maine. So those are the three big hiking trails in America where people call themselves through hikers. And obviously, when you have so much distance, there's some difficult terrain, um, and there's some shady people that are going to be out there. There can be problems, right? People can be abducted, people can be assaulted, people can have accidents, take falls, whatever it is. Well, anyway, the story I woke up to from my nap, um, when I was listening to this, and I was just, taking my nap because I was tired, was the story about two ladies from, I think it was like the Netherlands, who went to Panama to do some volunteer work. And when they got there, they found out that from the host that was housing them, that the volunteer work they were going to be doing wasn't going to start for another week. So they decided to do a little hiking while they had some time before the volunteer work started. So they got in an Uber and went up this trail. And when they summited the peak, they kept going. Stay on the trail, you guys. For real. Stay on the goddamn trail. For two reasons. First, your own safety. But second, to prevent erosion in the area that you're in. So they apparently kept exploring past this summit and were never seen again. And when they ultimately found them, it was because somebody found their backpack completely dry with their electronic devices, their phones, their camera, that everything was still inside. Um, and it was fine, right? So somebody who, a woman who was in the rice paddies discovered this backpack and informed local authorities. So the search started back up. And they finally found the remains of these girls, but they were just a pile of bones. The only thing that was completely intact was a foot in a hiking boot. They were just, it was a pile of bones. So there's lots of theories on like what actually happened to them. Um, the cab driver, the Uber driver, also mysteriously died the next year. He drowned. So that added to the whole mystery of, was he involved in some sort of trafficking thing, and they wanted to shut him up because that was such a high profile international case that there was a lot of heat on it, right? But nobody knows. Nobody knows what happened there. I don't think there's been a break in the case. The digital camera had one photo completely removed. Not even just like deleted from the camera, because forensics experts can restore deleted photos, but it was completely removed. Where, because the the photos were numbered in a succession, and one number got skipped. It was gone. It was gone, you guys. So, anywho, that is your scary stories for Saturday night. I'm not going to get into the whole treadmill walking show. Well, I'll go this far with the treadmill walking bullshit. So, Chantel wants to challenge Yaba to 10 minutes at 1.9. I don't think she's going to have a problem with that, okay? First of all, I just don't see that as being difficult for Yaba. But secondly, it seems that both Chantel and Kalari have heard us in us saying you have to do more. You're doing barely enough for a warm up, right? So I think Chantel intends to start doing 15-minute walks. Good for you. You're working it up. And Kalari said she wants to buy 10-pound weights. Now that's quite a jump from 2 pounds. I would suggest doing your weight stuff when you're not on the bike. Like doing it on the side, because you can't get in proper form to actually lift it doing it that way. And you could potentially hurt yourself by the way that you're doing it now. Um, but anyway, I'm glad that you guys are trying to up your game a little bit. I hope you're going to put some resistance on that bike too. Anyhow, happy Saturday, you guys. Um, Hope you're doing well. Take care. I don't know how I'm getting all these people from Turkey. How I got an audience there, but okay. Sounds cool.